Hello to all the young scientists at Bangkok Prep. My name is Dr. Clare Ayres, and I'm a research scientist at the Centre for Global Sea Level Change, this is our logo up here, at New York University, Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates. I'm really delighted to have the opportunity to talk to you about my research. Our centre uses observations and models to understand past sea level changes and to project future sea level rise. I'm actually in my office at home right now because our lab is currently shut due to the coronavirus pandemic, and we aren't able to go into the field to make our observations right now. But in my background behind me, I've got a photo of a glacier in Antarctica to show you some of the locations that we work in. I'm looking forward to meeting you all, so I can tell you a little bit about some of our ongoing projects that we're looking at how the Greenland and Antarctic ice sheets are melting. So Greenland's in the northern hemisphere, the North Pole, and Antarctica's at the South Pole. You may have seen some stories in the news about Greenland and Antarctica, and perhaps you've wondered why we're worried about ice that's so far away from where we live. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about why scientists are studying these regions, what we know already, and what we're hoping to find out. I'm going to share my screen with you right now because I just want to show you some of the places that I'm going to be talking about. So I live here in Abu Dhabi, and this is Abu Dhabi here in the Arabian Gulf. I actually live right here on the coastline, which is really beautiful, but maybe is going to be a problem in the coming decades. We'll have to see what happens. So you guys are all based, so this is the Arabian Gulf where I live. You guys are all based in Bangkok, which is also a coastal city. So another city that's actually already starting to see some flooding from sea level change. And so it'll be interesting to see. I'd like to show you some projections for what the sea level is going to look like in the future for Bangkok. But my research is mostly focused in Greenland. I've got two projects in Greenland. One on the eastern coast of Greenland here, Helmheim Glacier, which is one of the fastest flowing glaciers in Greenland. And the other one on the west coast of Greenland, Jakobshavn Glacier, which is one that's really quite impacted by warm ocean water that is helping to melt this glacier very fast. And the other project that I'm working on is involved with an ice sheet in Antarctica at the other end of the world, right down at the bottom here, called Thwaites Glacier. You may have seen something about Thwaites Glacier in the news, actually, because this is a glacier that we're very concerned about. It's also been called the Doomsday Glacier. It's about half the size, a little bit smaller than half the size of Thailand. And we're a bit worried that this glacier is starting to melt very, very fast. And it might be unstable. And if it's unstable, then big pieces can break off very quickly. And we're just not sure exactly what is going to be happening with this glacier. But because you and I live in coastal communities, we need to know what's going to happen with the glacier. So I'm very excited to tell you a little bit about my research, what it's like to work in these polar regions that are very challenging to work in. They're hard to get to. It's hard to get instruments there. Once you get there, it's hard to operate in these environments. But why scientists really do need to know what's happening in these regions and how what we discover is going to affect coastlines all around the world. So sea level rise is one of the greatest challenges that our society is going to be facing in the coming decades. I'm very much looking forward to talking to you more, finding out what your questions are, and perhaps discussing things that we could be doing to try and help minimize some of the problems that coastal communities are going to be facing in the coming years. So I'm looking forward to meeting you all soon. Bye for now.